What's up, all my Ewoks, droids, and Wookiees? It's Anna, also known as that Star Wars girl, and today, in this video, I'm going to be talking about how, after doing my research, I feel like the marketing team is kind of betraying Black Widow and misrepresenting what this movie is actually about. Now, if you watch my channel and you're kind of familiar with my content, then you know that I prefer to watch video interviews of people. I like to see what a person, I don't want to just read an article, because that, I mean, somebody could be sarcastic, they could be saying something completely serious, they could be sad when they're saying something, but you lose that emotion and what, you know, the meaning behind the words when it's just you're reading an article, right? I like to preferably see a video. Audio, sometimes it's okay, but I like to see their body language and what's going on when a person is answering a question. So I decided, I've been seeing a lot of outrage over the marketing for Black Widow, and it's very, you know, coinciding with the way that they did a lot of marketing for, you know, these female empowered movies and everything is wham, and now, because that's, I feel like all Hollywood is putting out, it's like strong, independent women. And that's their big thing, their big draw, because there's never been women in anything before. You know, Laura Croft didn't exist. Ellen Ripley didn't exist. Sarah Connor didn't exist until 2015 and up, right? Apparently, you know, Xena. It's like, what about all of these women throughout the history of time? Heck, even go look at old Hollywood. Like, go look at actual real life women. Go look at somebody like Audrey Hepburn, that was an icon, a real human being, not as, like, didn't have superpowers, but is so iconic throughout, you know, human history that they're looked on and they're held up, you know, to the standard that they're, you know, they're icons, and they're always going to be icons. I mean, look at Princess Diana. I mean, they just erected a statue of her that both of her sons, you know, unveiled for the world. It's like, strong women have existed from the beginning of time. Look at Joan of Arc. And I mean, I can just pull examples out of my head on the fly as I'm, you know, filming this video. And it blows my mind that people in Hollywood, again, don't think that any of that existed before 2015, or their excuses like, oh, they were just sex symbols, or they're just sex icons. And it's like, well, that's extremely degrading. Like, that's a diss at femininity, but that also, you know, you're degrading those women for their femininity. So just because it was a woman, that's immediately sexual, when it's like, well, you don't really have room to talk, considering movies like 300 exist. Magic Mike, I didn't see people going around complaining that the men were sexualized in 300 or Magic Mike. I don't see people complaining that Aquaman, you know, Jason Momoa is sexualized, or Thor, or, you know, Captain America. I don't see people complaining about that. But oh my goodness, a woman is attractive. Oh my god, a woman has boobs. Oh my god, a woman is in, you know, a superhero suit. Oh my god, it's the embodiment of all evil. Oh my god, did you make her smile, you sexist? It's like, it's very confusing, the double standard that they have, and it doesn't seem like they're pro-women. It actually seems that they're anti-women. They're anti-femininity. They're digressing women back to, you know, puritanical ages, it kind of seems like, at least in my opinion, the way I'm watching it. But back to the marketing of Black Widow, I feel like they're betraying Scarlett Johansson, because I feel like she does have to fight sexism, because if you actually go back and watch interviews, I remember there's a famous interview where the guy is asking her about her underwear. Like, how did you wear underwear in the Black Widow outfit? And she's like, what the hell, dude? Like, are you asking the guys how they're wearing underwear? Why are you only asking me? Like, you feel for her, considering, you know, that's true. You go and look at, I mean, you can go find all the compilations where the guys are getting asked all of these interesting questions. She's like, you know, costume, fashion, diet. It's like she was only getting the questions. That's not, a diss on her. That's a diss on the people that are asking the questions. And, she makes a point of addressing that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And there's a really big point that I want to make, because the weirdos are going, you guys are just her and Brie Larson, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, no, no. Brie Larson didn't get those questions. Brie Larson got asked very reasonable questions, and she gave ridiculous answers that, made the internet explode. And people are like, well, you made videos about Brie Larson. It's like, that's what people wanted. That was popular. That's what got, that's YouTube's algorithm. They had to change it because it was built around promoting Brie Larson videos. I mean, the problem doesn't lie with content creators. It relies on YouTube, because, I mean, if the videos didn't do good, people wouldn't make them, and YouTube was the one promoting them. So there's a really big difference between what I've seen that's actually coming out of Scarlett Johansson's mouth, what's being coming out of all of the other people that worked on this movie. And like I said, I like to go and I actually watch the interviews that's going on. And they're making it seem like the movie is just about fighting sexism in the MCU and getting rid of the male gaze and inadvertently being anti-men. And so it was really rubbing me the wrong way. I'm like, this is like the whole joke that went around about how the one article in the news site was going on about how the Charlie's Angels movies, it's like, this white men, this movie wasn't made for you. And then the next week or so, the same article in the same news site was posting, why aren't men watching the movie? They're all sexist, right? And so I feel like this marketing team are doing this because, and I'll link all the interviews that I watched down below, but Scarlett's not bringing this up. And I mean, you go, feel free to do this research yourself and go watch every single one of these. She's not bringing this stuff up like, oh, about feminism, or oh, it's the first, female this or something about that, or, wham and wham and wham, and the things that they're trying, like those talking points, like, oh my God, this was so important to me as a woman to see this representation on the screen. And I'm like, well, I'm a woman too. And I just look at it and I'm like, to a woman that's saying that, and I'm just like, you haven't watched very many movies, have you? And you see the way that Scarlett responds. She's asked a direct question, right? And she does her best to answer it. Like, yes, of course she's happy that she gets her own movie. Yes, she's happy to be playing this character again for the last time. And even seeing the other actress who's playing her sister, which I don't think this is a spoiler. I don't think I'm going to give away any spoilers because I haven't seen the movie, nor have I read any spoilers from the movie. This is all based on the promotional stuff that they have put out, and even the actors themselves, they'll get in trouble if they spoil it, so I don't think any of this is spoilers. But the way that they're pitching the movie is that obviously it's a prequel. It's coming out it takes place before Endgame. And it's about Scarlett Johansson going back and seeing her family. And the other character is her sister. And in Scarlett's own words, it's where she's a character that doesn't really like to, open up or express too much of herself. And the other character is her younger sister that's, trying to badger her for information. And Scarlett said that was a fun dynamic for them to play because that's what the audience wants. So the sister, who I think they're going to try to make the new Black Widow, that's what they've implied. Again, I don't think that's a spoiler. That's just me making an observation based on all the information that's out there. But so it's the younger sister trying to pry information out of a very closed off and reserved character. And it's a story tactic that I think everyone can understand that has a younger sibling. And that is a way for, the audience to see through the eyes of the younger sister and get this information out about this character that is already passed on. And maybe it'll have obviously it had an impact that she died, but it'll have like that extra punch when you go back and watch Endgame, knowing what you know now from this movie. And then listening to the director talk about it and how she was very much inspired by No Country for Old Men and Thelma and Louise. And she just goes into, this whole psychological aspect of how this one character is the embodiment of Black Widow's psyche. And I was like, wow, this all seems like people that really care about the art of movie making and telling these stories and embracing these characters. But all the marketing department seems to be doing is like, rah, white men are evil, rah! And it's like, you're really not doing yourself any favors. And one of the things that I'm kind of skeptical about, that I'm just like, are they trying, because I want to go see this movie and support Scarlett. Because I like Scarlett Johansson. I don't have any problem with her as an actress. Sometimes I'm like, she's a little overused, but at the same time, like, good for her. She's getting work and whatnot. But, you know, I'm just like, for a while, she was in everything. And I'm like, I would like to see other actresses. But based on the other ones that they're trying to force down your throats, I'm like, she's the best of them. So I'm like, I'll take it, you know? But this whole thing that they're trying to make it like she's against men and she's like, you know, saying men are sexist, or basically every kind of narrative that they're trying to do. It's like, are you guys trying to paint her bad? So it'll, like, because Bree's coming back, and Bree's, you know, quit her YouTube channel so that way she can go start working on, you know, the Marvels. It's not Captain Marvel 2 now, it's the Marvels. She got, you know, downgraded in her own film, which is funny enough in and of itself. But it's like, are they trying to make sure that the limelight isn't on Scarlett, so that, because, you know, Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, made $1 billion, and it's like, that's why I want to go see this movie, because I'm like, well, I feel like Scarlett, personally, I know people were saying that they wanted it to come out after Iron Man 2. I think that right after the first Avengers movie would have been the best time for them to do her movie. Because if you look at the way that MCU goes off after that, I think that would have been a perfect follow-up to the Avengers movie. That's just my opinion. That's when I think it would have been the best part. I know some people wanted it sooner, obviously, because they like the character. They like Scarlett. She's a great actress. Never had any problems with her before. But this whole narrative that they're trying to paint her, that she's this uber feminist, that she hates men now, and that she's dissing men, it's like, if you actually go and watch the interviews, she's being asked, you know, very strategic questions by the interviewer, and she's kind of being set up in a way that they're trying to get certain answers out of her. And I'm like, are you trying to have the same outrage over Scarlett like you did, like what happened with Brie Larson? Scarlett's obviously smart. I watched almost every single interview I could find that she did for Black Widow, and there was nothing in there that I thought that, you know, she didn't, everything that she said was because she was asked a direct question about it. Like, oh, yay, a female-centric movie. There's so many women in it. And it's like, well, yes, there are women in it. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with the way that she's answering these questions. So they're manipulating what's going on to make it seem like she's this woman that hates men, which from actually watching the interviews, that doesn't seem to be the case, and they're really doing her dirty. And so I'm going to go see the movie. I'm actually going to be in Texas and Houston. If you, while I'm making this video on July 7th, I'll be there tomorrow, actually. But if you guys are in the Texas area, or Houston, I guess, and you are going to Anime Matsuri, that's where I will be. So I will be actually watching this movie, because it comes out on the 9th in Houston. So that'll be interesting, because I want to support her. I feel like she was owed this a long time ago. And you know what? I hope this movie makes $1 billion. I hope it makes $2 billion. I hope that they can actually see that a likable character that doesn't have the crutch of the fact that Endgame is coming out, you know, what, 30 days? Maybe. I'm blanking on how long after Endgame came out after Captain Marvel. But it's like, we all know why Captain Marvel made $1 billion. It's because it was the lead up to Endgame. It's because who the hell was Nick Fury calling at the end of Infinity War when everyone got snapped out of existence? Oh yeah, Captain Marvel. So everyone went and saw that movie because they thought that it was going to be a lead into Endgame, right? They thought that there was going to be something there that was leading into Endgame. And so made $1 billion. Oh, I wonder why. Well, with this, it's like, well, she already died in Endgame, and so what is there the lead up? So I really don't want this to be a flop, just because after everything I've seen, it seems that they're misrepresenting everything about it. They're doing her dirty. They're betraying Scarlett Johansson and her character, where this actually seems to be a film that it's just people that love the craft of making movies, like the director, that, you know, everyone that's involved, you know, the actors, they all love these characters, they all love Marvel, and they, you know, Scarlett is finally getting her movie, and it's her way of saying goodbye to being part of the Marvel family. It's just, it's not people that have hatred in their hearts that are trying to force this agenda down your throat. It seems like just genuine people. And so I'm gonna go see this movie and support it. I think it sucks that the media is doing them dirty, but what else can we expect from this? But anyways, everyone, I've rambled on long enough. This is just after doing my initial research, and it's very, very eye-opening because I thought we were going to get Brie Larson 2.0 based on everything that I had seen, and then you actually go and you do your research, and it's like, you motherfuckers, this is the exact opposite. You guys are doing her dirty. But anyways, everyone, let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. If you like this video, go ahead and smash the like button. If you didn't, that's okay too. Thank you so much for watching this far through. And if you haven't already, take a minute, smash the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. And until next time, everyone, I hope you have a great day, night, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And may the force be with you because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone. Hey everyone, if you'd like to help support the channel, check out my Etsy, where I sell prints of my original oil paintings and drawings that range from horror villains, heroes, and your favorite Star Wars characters. I also have an art channel where I post time lapses and tutorials, and also if you want to see work in progresses, I also have an Instagram dedicated specifically to that. Then finally, you can check out my Teespring for wearable merch, and all platforms are listed down below in the description of this video. So thank you so much, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.